Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about a very essential amino acid which we consume on a day-to-day basis, which is tryptophan. So we all know it is, protein is essential for our body, for various biological functions, and tryptophan is one of them. It is, if you see, tryptophan is found in a number of foods like milk, tuna, eggs, oats, cheese, nuts, and seeds, right? And it aids in various metabolic functions. And there has been an association between the gut microbiome and the metabolism of tryptophan, right? So the tryptophan metabolites, which essentially is the byproducts of microbial metabolism of tryptophan, right? Helps aids in development of central and enteric nervous systems, right? Tryptophan has a role to play in our brain health. Also, the serotonin, which we call as happiness hormone, which regulates our, you know, our emotions, our sleep, and a lot of other things, right? 90% of it is produced in the gut, right? And the precursor for serotonin is tryptophan, right? So essentially, your gut microbiome, when they metabolize tryptophan, it is a chemical which gives the signals to epithelial cell, and then these human epithelial cells produces serotonin. Right? Again, this production of serotonin can further be metabolized into melatonin, which is required for our regulation of circadian rhythm. So there are a lot of these functions which tryptophan plays in our overall health. Uh, so let us discuss about the gut microbiome tryptophan connection, right? So we know a majority of tryptophan, this amino acid is absorbed in small intestine. However, if you're consuming tryptophan with other neutral amino acids like glycine, alanine, leucine, isoleucine, right? It limits the tryptophan absorption, right? Similarly, if you're taking a lot of carbohydrates along with the tryptophan, it also limits your absorption. So a lot of this undigested and unabsorbed portion of the tryptophan goes to gut microbes, where these microbes convert tryptophan into indole and indole derivatives, right? So these are the metabolites released by a microbiome. And again, indole are good things and bad things both. So we'll discuss in the next slide, right? So if you see tryptophan plays a key role in metabolizing our biology for good things or bad things, right? So when the byproduct of the microbial metabolism of tryptophan is indole. Indole is a super beneficial compound which regulates our gut motility, right? So it helps in a smooth movement of the food from mouth to the gut, right? Uh, it stimulates GLP-1 secretion, which is one of the hormones or neurotransmitter is required in regulating our blood sugar response, right? And even obesity, right? So people who have dysregulated GLP-1 are set to develop obesity, right? Uh, and it strikes a balance between TH17 and TREX cells, thereby eliminating or reducing inflammation. So again, overexpression of TH cell is set to release pro-inflammatory molecules, which is set to develop a lot of diseases, right? So and TREX cells actually negates that effect of overexpression of TH17 cells. So tryptophan plays a key role in metabolizing this or striking a balance between TH17 and TREX cells, right? Two another metabolites which are essential specifically from the obesity and type 2 diabetes perspective is indole 3 acetate and indole 3 propionate. Right? These again are converted by gut microbiome, when they absorb a lot of tryptophan, right? So both of these metabolites regulate insulin sensitivity. It reduces the production of cytokine, right? Reduces oxidative stress, which is again one of the uh, underlying cause for development of type 2 diabetes, right? Reduces gut permeability, which is again is a hallmark for prevention of leaky gut or gut permeability. Is increased gut permeability is associated with a lot of autoimmune disease and cancer. Right? it down regulates again a pro-inflammatory molecule called TNF-alpha, which is again associated with number of metabolic diseases. So it sounds really great. So tryptophan is one of the great so-called superfood, right? It regulates our sugar response. It prevents of becoming obese. It regulates your gut motility. It prevents production of pro-inflammatory molecule. It gives us serotonin. So a lot of these benefits, right? It should be part of our diet. Yeah. But here comes the flip side, right? So a certain metabolite of tryptophan, what we call as indoxyl sulfate, right, is associated with development of chronic kidney disease, right? And this is really worrisome, because if we are consuming too much of tryptophan, right, consuming too much of eggs, right, as a lot of people after workout do, right, uh, it leads to increased production. It may lead to increased production of indole, right? And excess indole moves into the blood circulation, where it gets into liver, and where it is converted into indoxyl sulfate. Indoxyl sulfate is one of the uromic toxin, which which is responsible for development of chronic kidney disease. So when you are consuming too much of X, too much of indole is being produced, it is being accumulated in our system, right? Which triggers oxidative stress, right? And this oxidative stress and inflammation is again a hallmark of development of even cardiovascular issues, heart diseases, right? So, so essentially, tryptophan can be good or bad for you, right? Depending upon, how much you're eating, how your microbiome is interacting with your tryptophan, because, involvement of conversion of tryptophan into indoxyl sulfate is linked with some specific bacteria, right? So essentially, we really need to understand the interaction between gut microbiome and uh, tryptophan rich foods, rather than just falling for fat diets, or just following what your nutritionist or your trainer is telling you to consume, right? So excess protein, as always said, excess protein, is harmful. And what I really say is, excess consumption of protein is the second biggest drug after consumption of sugar. So do ask these questions, do measure your biology to understand, how tryptophan is being metabolized inside your body, and what it is being converted into. That's it for today. Have a good day ahead.